Phil Collins, the legendary drummer, vocalist, and songwriter best known for his work with Genesis and his prolific solo career, has always maintained a reputation as a professional, even-tempered figure in the often chaotic world of rock and roll. But behind the polite interviews and carefully measured public image, there was one figure in the music industry that Collins reportedly hated more than anyone, and the animosity ran deep. For years, speculation swirled around who that person might be, and now, with insiders opening up and past interviews resurfacing, the mystery has been put to rest. It was none other than former Sex Pistols frontman John Lydon, better known as Johnny Rotten, with whom Collins had an infamous, bitter, and personal feud that few fans ever knew the full extent of. The story begins in the 1980s, when the worlds of polished pop rock and raw punk were colliding in the broader cultural conversation. Collins, already a superstar, represented a more refined, mainstream, and musically complex approach to songwriting. Lydon, meanwhile, was the embodiment of anti-establishment chaos, loud, vulgar, and deliberately confrontational. The two clashed behind the scenes during a UK charity event in the late 80s, where both were scheduled to perform. According to those present, Lydon openly mocked Collins during rehearsals, calling him a corporate stooge and music for dentists, a dig at Collins' adult contemporary success. Collins, known for his sharp wit and pride in his musicianship, reportedly didn't take the insults lightly. He confronted Lydon offstage, and while no punches were thrown, the encounter turned into a shouting match laced with insults, accusations, and years of pent-up resentment. What truly ignited Collins' hatred, however, was what happened afterward. Lydon, never one to back down, continued to insult Collins in the press for years, often referring to him as the epitome of soulless pop. Collins tried to avoid engaging publicly, but in private, friends say he was deeply angered and hurt by the constant jabs. According to one former Genesis bandmate, Collins once said, "Of all the people in this industry, he's the only one I genuinely can't stand." He felt Lydon's attacks weren't just personal, they were designed to devalue everything Collins had worked for musically. The feud wasn't just artistic, it became philosophical. Collins believed in the power of music to bring people together, to heal, and to elevate. Lydon represented the opposite, a musical worldview rooted in chaos, confrontation, and destruction. To Collins, Lydon wasn't just rude, he was dangerous to the spirit of music itself. Over the years, the rift remained unhealed. Even as both men aged and softened in other areas of life, Collins never forgave the disrespect he felt he endured. In later interviews, Collins would occasionally allude to unnamed punks who had tried to discredit him, but he always stopped short of naming names. Now, with those close to him confirming the long-standing grudge, it's clear Johnny Rotten wasn't just a thorn in Phil Collins' side, he was the one figure Collins hated more than anyone. And while fans of both artists continue to debate their merits, one thing's certain: this feud between two icons was as personal as it gets.